Hello viewers, welcome to educators.com. This is Venkatamna Ganji. In the last session, we have discussed how to insert the data into the database and what is the content value, how does it will help us to insert the data to the database. In this session, we'll discuss how to retrieve the data from the database and populate on a UI. So we'll explain a simple example here for you. So the first one, you have to create the as usual getAllData method in your helper class. Then if you want to read the data from the database, we use getReadableDatabase method, which will help us to read the data from the database and then get an instance of the cursor using the raw query method, which is going to take your table statement or query or execute SQL query, whatever it is. That is like what, how to get all the data. So there is an call for us like select star from table name. So we are going to get all the things like select star from database table is going to return all the data which is there and passing it to a cursor object, that is result. And finally we'll get all this data and display it in our UI part, means to your activity. So in the real world, mostly we use list view or something else, but presently I'm going to pass the data to the text view, which is going to be made very simpler to understand. Then do this proper condition check whether the data is available or not. If available, it will show the data, or else it will show data is not available. So now open your Studio and start creating a getAllData method inside your helper class. Come to your DB helper class. So scroll down after your insert method. So create one more method called public. The return type is going to be cursor. It will return the details. So what is a cursor? It will return either row or the column data. So the cursor, the method name is going to be getAllData. So call your getWritable database on the database. This dot get readable database if you want to read it, and with semicolon, and you should get your cursor values to this. So here it is asking something like return statement is missing. Not an issue, we'll do it now. So add a return statement here. So add a return statement. This is where I'm going to pass a cursor value, that is your result. Okay. So the result type is cursor is equals to, how do we get it? From the DB. So database object dot, what we are trying to get, entire details. So I'm going to take a raw query method to get your, so this SQL statement along with the selection part. So this is going to be the first one is SQL statement. So I'm going to take it as the select star from the table name. So what was the table name? That is database table. Database table. And with semicolon, sorry, I missed the second parameter, that is your selection arguments. Presently I'm passing it null, I'm not taking anything. Okay, so this is how we work with getting all the data. Now come back to your main activity. So where do we are going to present all the data? For a text view. So in the real world it would be for a list view or something else. So to make it simple, here I'm taking it for a text view. So just create a variable for text view. So I'm going to say result or whatever it is, I'm going to name it as your data, your underscore data, and just simply load it using find view by id method. Here the type is text view, actually change the type to text view, and this is going to be your data. And the id name, So I think I did not create any ID so far. Go back to your layout file. So yeah, I didn't create any ID here. Create an ID for the text view. So as I'm creating it for first time, I'll say that is here. You can say your data. Save this. Come back to your main activity. So change the name, sorry, ID name as your data. It's all done. For the second button, what is that load button? I did not set any on-click function so far. Add an attribute called on-click and name it as this is going to get all the data, okay, or load data. So I'm going to give the name as load data method. So just it will create the corresponding method in our activity. So implement whatever you would like to implement here. Same as usual. What you have to do is like if you want to write something, we have called get writable database. So now we are going to call here get readable database. That's it. So db helper dot get all data method will get all of our details, but this is going to be passed to the cursor. So just simply take, because the type of the data is cursor, so I'm going to give it as cursor is equals to db helper. This means everything is going to be saved in that particular cursor. Now save this. So now check the condition. If the cursor is null, it should display like data is not available. Okay. So but how can I get it? Using cursor.getCount method. If there is any row, it will take it. So getCount, here it is equals to 0. Then it should display something to the user. That is going to be a toast message. Simply I'm going to copy it from the above line or above method. So here I will say data not found. Okay. Else, if the data is available, it should do something. So directly what we are going to do is we'll create a string buffer. Okay. So using string buffer, if you want to know much about this, you just go through with your code Java concepts and let it. Buffer is equals to get the instance of that. So end with semicolon and pass the value whatever you get to this buffer to a text view. So what was that object name? That is your data dot set text. Pass your buffer. This is a buffer that must be converted to a string. So just call toString method on that. It's all done. But actually, so did I get any data to the buffer so far? When for a string buffer, no. So how can we do that? We'll check the condition while so buffer dot, sorry, not buffer, just take the cursor. If the cursor next to data is available, then cursor dot move to next. So what is the condition? What it should do? It should append the data to the buffer. Okay, buffer dot append. What exactly should append actually? It should append the data from our cursor. Okay, the first one is like what? ID. So I'm just displaying it here. The place. It is going to get it from a cursor. Cursor dot get string of the column index, that is 0. That means it is going to return an ID for us, and within the and with semicolon, within the brackets the next one. So and with semicolon, I want this to be at the next line, so I'm going to make it as /n, and next one is going to be name colon, and same as usual concatenate with the cursor dot get string of the array, column 1, so that is going to return a name and add value. So just again I'm going to take it with /n as usual to create in the next line. So that is going to be email ID colon. and plus cursor dot get string of that particular column too. Okay, and finally I would like to create a slash blank space. So I'm going to add it something like this. So two slash ends. Save this. Now click on run button. So load it into your activity. Sorry, I mean connected devices. Click here to run on your connected device. It will take some time to build the Gradle. Please wait. So it is about to launch on the device. Yeah. So now click on load button. It will display the data here at the bottom. Load. It is saying that ID1, name GVR, email gvr@gmail.com. So I have how many? Three data items. One, two, three. So this is how we'll display the data in our Android from the SQLite database. So in the next session, we'll discuss about how to update the data. Thanks for watching educators.com. Let's catch up in the next session.